A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
Presentation.
Hope everybody had a great Christmas off week. It's time to go back to racing, and for the second week in a row, it is a revitalized staple of yesteryear from NASCAR, the freshly repaved and rescanned Rockingham Autodromo Dwayne Johnson. We are here for the penultimate round of the championship, Live Life Wide Open 150, honoring Greg Biffle at The Rock here this evening. Welcome aboard, everybody. It's Tommy Cook. Matt Williamson, your Venom Truck Series team, as always, partner. Welcome back. Happy holidays and a happy new year to you. And it's good to get back to racing here tonight. It feels like we have not done a race in forever.
Yeah, it does. It's been a couple of weeks, but it certainly seems like it's been even longer than that. So good to be back, and good to be back in a big way with a big race here tonight. Only two more left for the chase for the Nathan Reynolds Cup to be decided here, and we got a couple of good ones coming up for you. This one at Rockingham could be very interesting, especially with the rescan, the new pavement. It's hard to tell what could happen here tonight. And then we got the big endurance race next week at Charlotte. That is going to be something.
And let's remind folks, and maybe ourselves as well, what the lay of the land is coming into tonight. Matt Schlosser is on a tear, a couple of wins in a row, and he has a comfortable points advantage, despite Chad Stearns and John Kay making up some points over the course of last week's race.
Yeah, I mean, Schlosser has been, he's picked right back up where he left off in the chase last season to become the champion. 38 points ahead of Chad Stearns coming into tonight. You mentioned John Kay still picking up some points here last week. He is tied for third with Brody Gunter, 49 behind, but I don't believe Brody Gunter will be here tonight, so that effectively takes Gunter out of the hunt. But Zach Lockett, not that far behind either from John Kay, so a few drivers still trying to find themselves an opportunity, but if Matt Schlosser can just kind of keep things on the straight and narrow and not get into trouble, he is looking to pick up his second championship consecutively.
A lot of unknowns here tonight as well. I would imagine a lot of these drivers, even though it's only been a couple weeks, shaking off a little bit of rust, and this is certainly one of the more interesting places to have to do that. Much like North Wilkesboro 2 weeks ago, two ends of this racetrack drive completely differently. And this racetrack as a whole drives pretty differently as well. As you notice, it's nicely paved. Still pretty bumpy in turns 3 and 4 like it used to be. But some of the buildings and grandstands have changed their layouts. So these drivers will have had to have adjusted some of their braking markers and reference points. But at its core, it's still the same old Rockingham, and it's sure to put on a good show here this evening. Of course, it's been a horrendous offseason in real-life NASCAR. First of all, we send our condolences to the Hamlin family, and hopefully everything is going to be okay with Denny's mom. That is just a horrible situation there. But, of course, tonight we pay homage to the one they called the Biff, who we lost on December the 18th, along with his wife and 2 children, Christina, Emma, and Ryder. So lots of Greg Biffle schemes out on the circuit here tonight. And paying homage to one of the great wheelmen, as these drivers are going to have to be up on it here this evening, sliding it like the Biff to get it done at the Rock. It's time to go racing for 150 laps here tonight. Live life wide open here at Rockingham, and with his second Tech Tape Pole Award of the season, it's Lucas Carver. Great qualifying effort for driver 89 as he plants his flag on P1 here this evening. John Kay has won the last 2 Rockingham races in a row. The last one was the endurance race, 250 laps, 100 less laps here this evening. But Kay coming off a night where he led his most laps in a race since round number 6 a couple weeks ago at North Wilkesboro. Matt Schlosser lines up in third, but he will have an EOL penalty for a restart violation. So lining up to his outside. How about Eric Breeding on the outside of row number 2 in that preseason Thunder paint scheme for driver 26? Paul Ellison and Joshua Matichek. Matichek coming off of a podium finish 2 weeks ago at North Wilkesboro. Austin Holyfield and Jordan Journeau on row number 4. It is Steve Roman and Garrett Rainey, your top 10 starters. Hayden Palumbo would be in the championship hunt right now if he were in the chase. He also has an EOL penalty after a runner-up 2 weeks ago at North Wilkesboro. Kyle Zittel got a top 5 at the short track. He starts on the outside of row number 6. Brantley Gainey and Corey Rutherford on row number 7. Gary Clark and Zach Lockett on the 8th row. Josh Freed, Andy Poliski, Cade Cannon, and Chad Stearns. Also has an EOL, and he did not get to set a qualifying lap as he got switched over to the warm-up right as he crossed the stripe. The time didn't count. Andy Ducato also has an AOL, but he's already at the back anyway, starting at 21st. Cole Maxwell, Tyler Berger. 23 drivers here this evening at the Rock as they get ready to roll. Missing a couple of chasers. No Brady Gunter, no Jan Van Leer here this evening, but we do have a Matt Williamson in the booth who will give us what we need to know here for 150 laps.
Yep, got 150 laps around the Rock here today. Track temperature is at 100 degrees, so not super warm, not super cool. It should be a pretty decent temperature for this new track surface to test it out here in racing conditions. I would expect a 2-stop race, but I will say that cautions are probably inevitable. It seems like it's even easier to hit the wall coming off of 2 than it already was in the last scan of this racetrack. So drivers are going to have to mind themselves here this evening.
We've had as few as 2 cautions and as many as 13 here at the Rock. Just depends on the night. Lucas Carver and very festive John Kay on the front row. Rolling to the green for the Biff. Oh, Breeding down into Ellison. Gets the mid-pack a little checked up there as Breeding is headed backwards. On the outside of 3 wide, Ellison survives and he's up to 3rd. To point out as well, it is actually a drive-through penalty for Andy Ducato, so he is coming down pit road here as lap 1 is complete. Lucas Carver leads the way, but maybe not for much longer. John Kay looking to pick up where he left off last season, and he quickly assumes the lead.
Yeah, John feels pretty comfortable around this racetrack most of the time, so no surprise to see him try and get to the point early on here. Boy, a lot of shaking up throughout the field. Some drivers that qualified well might be trying to take care of their tires a little bit and are dropping through the field. So some interesting things happening here in the opening laps.
Corey Rutherford moves into the top 10 as we say hello to Robin Modicek joining us in the chat. John Kay with a purple lap. If it were anybody else, I would say Carver would feel a little bit comfortable giving up the lead and maybe saving his stuff a little bit. But John Kay is the man at Rockingham, and there are no two ways about it. Seasons 8 and 9, he has been the dominator and the race victor. And, I would hate to see him stretching his legs here, even just 4 laps into this race, already a 0.6 of a second advantage.
Yeah, and it's not just in the truck either that John is very good at. Rockingham also won a race in an open-wheel car here as well. So there's something about John Kay and Rockingham. They just have this synergy together, and the two needs it here tonight to give himself a good opportunity going into next week.
If you remember, John Kay led laps at North Wilkesboro, led quite a few laps as well, but a strategy call to try and wait out for a late race caution ended up costing him a lot of spots. Did not get the win, but drove back through the field to 8th. And I'm sure he wanted that one back, but still has an outside shot of maybe sneaking back into this championship battle, especially keeping our eyes on Matt Schlosser in the thick of the field. Has worked himself up to 19th after the EOL penalty to start the night. Let's give a quick call here to Austin Hollingfield, who's in the top 5, running in 4th. Steve Roman, one of the drivers, running the Biff throwback scheme. So is Jordan Journeau behind him. Well, Steve's is less of a throwback because I don't think Greg Biffle ever ran a paint scheme with his own face on it. But maybe he should have.
Journeau up the racetrack a bit. Here comes Modicek looking to make up a position.
Not sure if we said hello to Bailey yet, but she's got to be enjoying this. Joshua underneath. You mentioned that the backstretch, treacherous here. Not quite square with the dumping off out of the corner. That wall just seems to jut in. As Journeau is getting a little out of shape there out of 4.
Yeah, Journeau's lost a few positions here now, struggling on the outside. But, yeah, you're exactly right. I mean, it's really funny, though, because it seems like you feel like you're making the same entry into turn 1 and then kind of the same motions through into turn number 2. And then all of a sudden you get to your exit and you're like, oh, snap, I'm hitting the wall. And there's really nothing you can do about it.
So Get Rainey is trying to take a little peek here to the inside of Modicek for 7th. John Kay still enjoying a 0.6 of a second lead over Lucas Carver. Carver's got Papa Paul Ellison closing in just a bit. A few car lengths between 2nd and 3rd.
Brantley Gainey getting pushed to the outside here. Andy Poliski found some ground underneath, and Gainey also struggles on the outside. So definitely seems like the outside right now is not the place to be, but we might see that shift later on in the run. Not really sure how that is going to come in, since we don't have really anything to go off of with this new rescan, new pavement at the Rock. So we'll see if that outside comes into play here.
Lap 14 on the board this time.
Modicek into the wall off of 4. I thought they didn't lose that much speed, but might be a little bit of damage there to the right side of the 60.
That is a fairly tight grouping there. Modicek back to Corey Rutherford. As here goes Rainey to the inside of the 60, looking for P6.
You saw as Rainey kind of put a little bit of air on that left rear of the 60. It looked like the back of the truck wiggled just a little bit there for Modicek, and he does everything he can to not hit the wall. Has to roll out of the throttle. He's going to lose a couple here.
John Kay coming to the line to put lap 16 on the board. We take 1 lap silent for the Biff. 24 and a half silent seconds, not nearly enough to memorialize the career of somebody who is more than likely going into the NASCAR Hall of Fame this year. And again, we extend our condolences to the Biffle family, to the Wadsworth family, to the Dutton family, and as well to the Hamlin family once again. So it's, I suppose, to the Annette family as well. It's just been a miserable offseason for NASCAR. And, yep, that's really all that there is to it.
Nice battle going on here between Paul Ellison and Lucas Carver as we have both of them for car inside cameras, and they are battling it out here for second.
Ellison's been chipping away at this bit by bit. But Carver's doing a decent job. Talk about the dirty air that really came into effect at Pocono. I'm not sure if it would be easier or more difficult at a place like Rockingham that has got the banking, but it's very tight quarters.
Yeah, you can see Ellison using a much different line down in turns 3 and 4, diving down to the white line. Meanwhile, Carver running more one lane up the bottom. But Ellison continues to close in here. It's a matter of whether you can get that positioning underneath, maybe force a mistake out of your competitor as Carver up the racetrack a bit. This could be the opening. Ellison couldn't quite get there.
Rockingham is such a great track because of the two different corner configurations, but also you've got multiple viable lanes. You said the top side isn't coming in yet. It might. Rather soon, but you've still got the middle and the bottom that both of these drivers are able to use to varying degrees of success and stay close to one another. Rockingham's the best. It should have never gone away, but at least we've recognized our mistake, and it's back, kind of. Well, for the Xfinity and Truck Series, anyway.
In a capacity, it is back.
Hopefully, I do actually have a couple of ins with these folks, so maybe I'll use all my weight to try and get this back on the Cup schedule. And, it won't go very far. But it's a nice thought. Carver up into the wall, and this might be the opportunity that Ellison needs. And he is quickly around the outside. He's going to bang the boards up top to try and hang on to his newly taken second position. I think he's got it. So nicely done for Ellison. Started 5th up to 2nd.
Just a couple of seconds back behind them. Pretty good grouping together here. This is Rainey, Zittel, Lockett, Matichek, and Rutherford. Matichek has lost a few positions now since the last time we saw him. As you see Rutherford into the wall.
He pounded it. And it is easy to get wheel damage in that exact scenario, and I'm sure he has got it. That is not going to help that right front tire out whatsoever. Jordan Journeau is headed backwards here in a hurry. He lost 11th to Andy Poliski a handful of laps ago, and now he has dropped back to 16th. So maybe some early tire concerns or some damage on that 84 truck as well.
And championship hopefuls are just in front of Jordan here. Schlosser just in front of Chad Stearns. So Stearns needs to try and turn this one around, flip it the other direction to try and make up some points here.
Schlosser and Stearns both started at the tail of the field as Josh Freed is up in the wall in front of them.
Three teammates all together here.
Somewhere Schlosser's pocketbook might be weeping. But he's clear on the 39. It's a little bit further up. Zach Lockett with a quick pass attempt on Kyle Zittel, and he might make it stick. Zittel going to enter with a crossover down the backstretch.
Hello to Jeremy McKinnon in the chat, and Happy New Year to you. quite. We got about 28-ish hours before we're officially there.
He's on Canadian time. Oh, his locket hard into the wall down the back stretch. We'll give up that spot to Zittel and one to Matacek as well. So 7th down to 9th for the 93. And again, concerns on knocking the toe out on that right front.
Is Canadian time a whole 24 hours ahead of
Well, yeah, they're
United
north
States
of
time?
Australia, right?
Oh, yeah. Uh-huh. Boy, you're going to catch hell for that one.
Well, I mean, we've been threatening to have a pay-per-view boxing match for about a year now. Just got to keep stoking the coals. Austin Holyfield didn't catch the wall down the backstretch, but he did have to roll out of the throttle, and here comes Steve Vroman. Holyfield had caught Carver, and now just with Vroman pulling underneath of him, they have lost by 3 or 4 truck lengths. And Vroman is through on Holyfield. Nice and tidy.
Holyfield looking for the crossover here into 3 and 4 as Vroman way up the racetrack.
And Holyfield takes it right back.
If you're not used to running that middle to top, it's really hard to get your entry right, especially into 3 and 4. You can drift up the racetrack really easily.
About 0.8 of a second behind now of Lucas Carver as John Kay enjoys a 2.3 second lead over Paul Ellison. Well, who wants to tell him?
Everybody that went to Bristol this year already knows, so unfortunately Jeremy was not looped in.
I think we did talk about it in the Venom general chat earlier this week as well. So
September of 2027.
Yep, there you go. So we got 2 years to promote it. So Vroman gets right back by Austin Holyfield and will officially take over 4th. Interesting to point out here, still 2 seconds and change between them, but Paul Ellison has started running quicker lap times than John Kay. Kay not anywhere near lap traffic yet, as there are only 35 laps complete. He's still about 3/4 of the track behind the lap traffic here. So this is just Ellison trying to track him down on his own merits. Battling for 9th, Andy Poliski's had a solid drive up through the field, started 18th, and he has taken over the 9th position and now is right to work on Matacek for 8th.
Schlosser and Stearns continue to try and work their way through the field. Schlosser up to 11th now.
So
But
they'll be right behind this battle, but
yeah, it's a pretty
still
good
like 2
gap.
seconds.
Pretty good gap from Schlosser up to Lockett. And John Kay's hoping that stays this way for, another 35 laps or so.
Or maybe another 113 laps or so.
Yeah, probably.
Kate Cannon is coming to pit road.
Kyle Zittel pulled his truck way off the outside wall coming out of 2, and Poliski's got a little bit of a run into 3 and 4, but not quite able to do anything with it. Here comes Lockett on the inside of Matacek.
Sounds like there was an issue. About 3 or 4 trucks. Kate Cannon, Cole Maxwell, Andy Decano, Tyler Bergert. And maybe that is why now Maxwell and also Kate Cannon are down pit road here. But we're still green.
Holyfield slipping back a little bit. Garrett Rainey's been able to get around the 10 as well. And Poliski starting to close in here
Poliski threw on Matacek and Zittel in the last handful of laps. Poliski has not won a race at Rockingham, but secured his championship here in our first season of Venom Truck Series coverage in Season 5. So it's a special place in the lore of Andy Poliski and the VTS and on turn 200.
John Kay starting to get into a little bit of lap traffic here.
Gary Clark yields with communication to the leader, but still quite a ways up the track, up to, I believe, Eric Breeding, as Jordan Jorno is coming down pit road. He would have been the next up. "43 laps in, I can't imagine these drivers are feeling particularly great at this moment."
Yeah, it's so hard to gauge because not only do we have the new scan with new asphalt, but we also have this truck that we still haven't quite figured out on these types of racetracks. Well, I mean, there's not a lot of racetracks that are like this, but I mean, we've seen the tires seemingly last much longer here in the last couple of races after the truck refresh as well. So it's, I don't know. There's a lot of variables here we're just not really quite sure of. We'll have to see how it plays out. I don't think it's out of the question that a lot of these drivers may try and make it a full 75 laps to get to the halfway point and go for a one-stopper.
Gary Clark is coming down pit road as Andy Poliski has gotten through on Austin Holyfield. Here he is to the inside now of Garrett Rainey. And just as quickly as he makes the move, he completes the pass. And Poliski's into the top 5. And why stop there? Next up, Steve Vroman, his teammate. Take a little looky-loo here down low, trying to wrap this white line. And Vroman will give up the spot. Poliski is on a roll, up to 4th. Only about 0.8 of a second back of Lucas Carver. And even in traffic, his lap times are about 0.3 of a second quicker. And no different that time, even though he had to make a pass.
I hate to tell this to John Kay, but I mean, if Andy keeps up this trajectory, he's got a good shot at reaching John. I mean, Andy is up 14 positions from the race start here, a third of the way in.
Poliski, even battling for position, is the fastest driver on track at the current moment. Nobody else is even within 1/10 of a second of him.
But just
that
behind
time,
him,
0.3 quicker than the top 3.
Just behind him, it is getting crazy back here as Matacek trying to get around Jordan. Actually, this is Jordan Jorno going through on fresher tires. As
this
here goes
the DRS
Poliski.
train.
Poliski finds the room underneath, solidly up to 3rd, no question. But behind him, this is quite the gaggle.
Lucas Carver says he's coming down here on lap 50. Zach Lockett will follow. See who else will decide to come down pit road. This is a tricky pit road entry as Lockett just about found out. He was looking everywhere but the wall. So Carver from 4th, Lockett from, I believe, 7th. Or maybe 8th. Either way, 2 drivers inside the top 10.
Jorno on the fresher tires, finally out of the Hornets' nest here. These drivers on the lead lap can get a bit of a breather. Single filed out, but a long line of them here together. as Stearns has leapfrogged Schlosser in this whole mix. So Stearns doing what he needs to do, but definitely won't be making up a lot if Schlosser can keep his race going in the right direction.
Schlosser through on Holyfield. Free trying to take advantage now, but Schlosser into the top 10. Here comes Garrett Rainey from the top 5 this time. That's the call over the radio.
Oh, boy.
Evidently, Stearns did not hear that call, but it was over the radio. Close one. If you're talking best case scenarios, that was John Kay's golden goose right there, and it came to pass. Look at the lap time fall off. John Kay's purple lap, 23:51. His last lap is a 25:82. That's a lot of fall off for a 1 mile track.
Yeah, it's a lot of fall off, and we still have 20 laps to get to the halfway mark if they want to try and make this on one stop. So, I mean, we've seen this tire stabilize in the middle of a run before, but I'm not sure this is one of the places that's going to happen.
So just a little over 4 seconds from Andy Poliski, who's in third, up to John Kay. But I mean, consistently, Poliski 2 to 3 tenths a second, or rather 2 to 3 tenths per lap faster than John Kay. And again, that was another 3.5. So Poliski is just outgunning John Kay at the current moment. Now, is John saving something? He's a bit of a rock whisperer. Not impossible.
Look at this, Kyle Zittel getting a run back on Stearns, who got through to 5th. But Zittel not going away quietly.
Not going away quietly, and Chad Stearns did not arrive quietly either. Picking him up and putting him down here. 57 laps into this race. As next up for Stearns is Steve Vroman, and that will put Stearns up to 4th.
Big
Josh
swing.
Freed just found a little something here.
Yeah, big swing from Freed down underneath the Matichek.
Remember, Freed let Stearns and Schlosser go through. He got himself up into the wall. But Freed has since gone back through on Schlosser. And he's outpacing the drivers he was running around earlier as he parks it right in front of the 60. And slingshot engaged for Schlosser.
Yeah,
Shake and bake would work at Rockingham.
Schlosser has had an uphill battle here today. I'm sure he's probably burned up his tires a little bit trying to get through this field up to this point.
Vroman got up into the wall there at a turn number 4, and he is on the slide through the running order. As Garrett Rainey was the last driver down pit road. So it seems like everybody else is going for the one stop right up the middle. You certainly can.
And look at this, Paul Ellison under fire now from Andy Poliski.
Poliski's lap times have stabilized a little bit, but I mean, he started way deep in this field and has just not let up. Poliski will take second. How about an 18-2 run in just 62 laps? And I'll say it again, why stop there? John Kay, 2.5 seconds up the road.
Here comes Hayden Palumbo. He is the number 2 driver
Whoa!
on the 2-stop strategy.
I don't think Zittel realized how quickly Palumbo was coming as he was going for that gap down low. Zittel cut him off.
Corey Rutherford not too far behind either, but it's Lucas Carver who is the top driver on that alternate strategy. He's working his way around Chad Stearns right now.
Oh, Palumbo was trying to sneak to the outside of Freed, and now all of a sudden they are jammed up. Palumbo was putting that truck wherever it would stick. You're thinking about drivers who are rolling with confidence right now. That is certainly Hayden Palumbo. Been on the podium, I think, every single race of the chase thus far, including a win. He has just been the man.
You may have mentioned it, but I don't remember. Shout out to Nathan Carroll in the chat.
I don't think so. Hello to Nathan. Sent me some paint template goodies that I gotta apply after this.
Oh man, Schlosser and Freed, close quarters there out of 2. Schlosser trying to get a second wind here. And don't look now, Andy Poliski has made up a bunch of time on John Kay.
Yeah, his lap times continue to hover right in that 25.5 range. Consistently 2 to 3 tenths of a second quicker per lap than John Kay.
He's cut that gap in half in just 6 laps or so. We're going to start making our way towards green flag pit stops for these drivers on the one-stop strategy. About 5 laps away.
Theoretically, somebody could go longer than this halfway mark.
Yeah, definitely. I think you can make it like 100 laps maybe on a take of fuel. So you could go much further if you'd like to, but I just don't see how that would be beneficial here at this point.
No, certainly not with 2.3 seconds of fall off. If you're John Kay, more if you're anybody else. Other than Andy Poliski, I guess, as he was half a second quicker. I mean, you can see this gap visually coming down as Kay into the wall down the backstretch. Poliski smells blood in the water.
A couple of good battles on the racetrack at the same time as well. Brantley Gainey, Austin Holyfield side by side for the better part of a lap.
But I mean, Poliski is already 2 car lengths behind, and he is looking for the lead. I mean, this developed almost instant.
Oh.
Couple of drivers with fresher tires might factor in as John chops the nose and takes the clean air away from Andy.
And here come drivers on fresh tires as well.
He might buy himself a couple of laps with that slick move.
That might be enough to get him to his pit stop without being passed by Poliski.
Ooh. Rainey has to check up not to pile in to lock it there. Okay, we'll have to take the middle. Poliski will try and follow the lappers through on the bottom. I mean, just look at that. Lays back, gets a huge run. And Poliski looking for the top spot.
John's going to try and protect the bottom here through 1 and 2, but Poliski looking for an outside-in move.
Corey Rutherford rolls out of it. Wise decision, I think, as Andy Poliski is the new race leader. First official lead change, I guess second official lead change of the night as Carver snuck one in there on K.
All right, pit window's open. It's about to be go time.
And it's not like John Kay has really used it up compared to anybody else. You look down the timing chart, there's only one other driver that's faster than John Kay right now. On his set of tires, anyway. But Andy Poliski is just, I don't know. I don't know what he's done. Because it's not like he's been laying back. He's been passing trucks all race, and he's still 2 or 3 tenths quicker. So here comes John Kay. The Magic Man.
Chad Stearns making his way in here as well. Here comes Kyle Zittel. Everybody doing a pretty solid job on pit road here.
That is surprising. This is a difficult one. Paul Ellison says he's coming in this time. As Matt Schlosser passes him for second.
Poliski got a little bit out of shape getting down to pit road, but able to make it happen.
So Andy is in. Paul is in. Josh Freed is in. That leaves Matt Schlosser now the race leader. Joshua Matichek is in second. Schlosser says he's pitting this time. Tyler Bergert also out on older tires. Lucas Carver set to inherit the race lead whenever Schlosser and Matichek make their way in. Here comes Schlosser. Matichek stays out, so he'll take over the lead.
Let's see where John Kay comes out in comparison to Andy here.
I think John is going to go by.
And he will by pretty good margin.
About half the length of the backstretch.
It's going to be at least a couple seconds.
Here comes Matichek from the point. So that will bring Lucas Carver now, who came down pit road very early. Back to the lead of this race. Eric Breeding too fast entering. So we've yet to see pit stops from Tyler Bergert, who runs in 4th, and Steve Roman, who runs in 6th. Is anybody surprised to see Steve Roman, who just picked up a meatball flag, I would imagine, for right front tire wear, unless he really cracked the wall at some point and I missed it. But Roman is in.
Yeah, it's
with a meatball.
Gotta be for tire wear for sure.
I didn't see him hit the wall. He may have snuck one in on me.
So side by side here between Kyle Zittel, Josh Freed.
Oh, and to top it off, Steve Roman is too fast in the middle sectors of pit road. John Kay is way ahead of Andy Poliski all of a sudden. 3.5 seconds. So Poliski may be saving a little tire here as Hayden Palumbo is in now for the second time this race. It's him and Jordan Journeau, the first two to make a second stop of those that will elect to do that. Palumbo on and off pit road. It drops in 17th. So that is his service done. He'll have slightly fresher tires than most of the folks that just came in.
It's going to be interesting to see how this plays out, as these drivers that came down pit road once already should be eyeing their next pit stop here in the next 10 to 12 laps.
I mean, what is the sweet spot?
I mean,
Is
if
it really
they-
just to look for the same number again? Just do 2 equal stints?
I mean, I would assume so. I mean, you could try and do what John Kay did and, try and get there one lap earlier. But, I mean, if you're, Lucas Carver and you do that, everybody else behind you can follow through and follow suit. So it's a little bit of a game of chicken to see who's going to come in first among this group, I suppose. But, I mean, yeah, on paper, if you're on this strategy, you might as well come in on lap 50 and lap 100. That would just make it even.
We talked about the gap between John Kay and Andy Poliski. It has continued to grow. However, Poliski started to turn it on the last couple laps. He's been faster than John Kay, but that gap is still over 5 seconds right now. Even with 60 laps to go, that's a lot of work to be done.
It seems like Andy has just done a nice job of saving tire for later on in the run, and it seems like maybe John is maybe a little bit of the opposite strategy here.
Ross Racing 99 cheering on Zach Lockett, who is one of those drivers on a 2-stop strategy. You mentioned we should be seeing them coming down pit road here shortly. That would be Carver, Lockett, and Rainey, your top three. Corey Rutherford in 5th.
Lockett was nearly 3 wide there for a moment and ends up going up into the outside wall briefly.
And so this is Rainey behind him for position. This will be the battle for second. Steve Vroman is not for position, but Vroman is very much going to be in the mix here.
Should also mention your leader, John Kay, not that far behind these drivers.
Well, your provisional leader.
Fair. Will be the leader after this round of pit stops.
There you go. And maybe the leader before, honestly, at the clip that he's on.
Yeah, I mean, and you made a good point. You could certainly look at this strategy in that way as well. Maybe you just stay out until John gets by you. But if you stay out while you're in front of him, if a caution flies, you could be at a bit of an advantage here.
We've not said the C word yet.
Surprisingly, we have not. I thought for sure.
Quite surprising.
Thought for sure we would have some sort of incident, especially off of turn number 2, but we've had a couple of hairy moments, no doubt about it, but everybody's done a good job of taking care of each other and taking care of themselves for the most part.
Yeah, we did have one small sort of get-together in the back of the field that caused retirements for Cade Cannon and Nicole Maxwell, but that did not trigger a caution. As Corey Rutherford is coming down pit road.
And here comes John Kay past Rainey and Lockett.
So Kay's up to second now.
And Rainey down pit road immediately after getting past.
And here's John Kay for the lead. And your leader is now John Kay. Once again.
Would not be surprised to see Carver and Lockett come in this time to follow the call of Garrett Rainey. But they'll stay out. Lap 100 it is.
That dual mindset of, every lap that I do now is one less lap that I have to worry on the back end of this race. But it's also one lap more that all the drivers that have already come down pit road will get on me. Never fun to have to do that calculus.
two got to be careful as well, because Eric Breeding could kind of throw a wrench into their positioning getting onto pit road here.
Well, Carver says enough with that. He's coming in this time. See if Lockett will follow him in. Nope.
All right, so Lockett stays out. And we'll look back to Chad Stearns and Matt Schlosser. Stearns still only one position in front of his teammate, so the way they're rolling right now, Stearns not going to make up too many points on the championship points leader at the moment.
Lockett is down pit road from second. And not only that, he has crashed. So you talked about him having a difficult pit entry last time, and this time it is worse as he makes contact with the wall. And will lose a ton of time. I guess the one thing that's sort of haunted me from the North Wilkesboro broadcast is that I said that I don't think Matt Schlosser's run a Venom Truck Series race at Rockingham. That was obviously wrong, because we've run here the last 2 seasons in a row. However, I guess in sort of the Schlosser-verse, not particularly memorable performances from him. 2 top 10s, but on the lower end of that. Finished outside of the top 10 here with Truck 200. So this is leaps and bounds better than what we've seen from him at the Rock, and we sort of expected that with all the momentum that he's had coming into tonight, and of course 6 wins on the season, and has defended his Nathan Reynolds Cup quite well up to this point. And certainly it is looking to stay that way as things run with 46 to go in the penultimate round of the championship. Joshua Matacek pulling up on Josh Freed here. Looking to challenge for 7th. As Lucas Carver on fresher tires has gotten through on Corey Rutherford and on Jordan Journeau for position. Journeau was the first driver on pit road in this cycle, and it was quite a few laps ago. It was right after the end of the first pit cycle, I'm pretty sure. But Carver is not poised to be the top driver on the 2-stop strategy right now. That belongs to Hayden Palumbo down in 12th. But Palumbo has much fresher tires behind him, closing up quickly. That would be Garrett Rainey. So 2-stop for now, not seeming to be the way to go. We'll see how things change as the final 40-ish laps of this race tick away.
And Garrett Rainey will get by Palumbo to make him the leading driver on that strategy. And Rainey is about 35 seconds behind your leader, John Kay. And his last lap was about a half a second faster.
Unfortunately, 35 seconds here is a lap and a quarter. So he's got a lot of stepping to do.
Yeah. Definitely not going to be able to make it up only running half a second faster.
But while we're looking at lap times, John Kay is slower than Andy Poliski, and Poliski At a gap that was over 5 seconds at one point is now down to 2.5 seconds. So Poliski on the prowl here with 39 to go.
Things getting a little hairy back here as Stearns, Carver get through on Palumbo, who had issue. And Carver will blow by Stearns on fresher tires.
So it'll be Carver chasing down Rainey now to assume the top two stop spot in 12th. They're not too terribly far behind some other drivers who are on the one-stop strategy, so a top 10 is certainly in play as things run right now.
Freed and Madacek getting back after it here. Battle for 7th with Kyle Zittel in 6th, just in front of them. Oh, and Freed looking for a nose underneath.
There was a truck width there, and he fit it perfectly. And Zittel in a two-spot swing on the worst end of it. So Freed to 6th, Monacek to 7th, Zittel back to 8th. But Zittel is over 5 seconds clear now of Brantley Gainey, who runs in 9th. And I was forgetting Rockingham races for some reason. How could I forget Brantley Gainey's near poaching of the victory on John Kay back in Season 8? That was quite the performance from the Double Deuce. And Jordan Jarno will come in for a third time, because I'm sure those tires were all but spent. So that will be his last set. At this point in the race, I wouldn't think the amount of tires you have in the pits would be a concern, because you're only going to make one trip down pit road with 30 laps to go if we do get a late race caution. I think the big issue right now is there are only 9 drivers on the lead lap. And a somewhat crucial pass in case we do get that caution. Garrett Rainey through on Austin Holyfield to move up to 10th. That is the lucky dog position.
Yeah, Lucas Carver is coming to take that away from both of them here as Carver gets underneath Holyfield and is coming with a head of steam on Rainey.
The problem for them is Brantley Gainey is about to go a lap down to John Kay, so that will make that all for naught. But certainly Rainey and Carver both lapping faster than Gainey, and Carver's, of course, lapping faster than everybody. A 24-6 last time around for Carver compared to John Kay's 25-25. So got a little over half a second on him. And John Kay in traffic that time turns in at 25.50. And Poliski puts in a 25.25, and this gap is down to about a second and a half. So John Kay has got a battle on his hands here shortly.
Yeah, Poliski, I mean, we saw what John was willing to do just to try and keep the spot prior to the green flag pit stops. I can only imagine what he might do to try and hang on to it for the win.
Hayden Palumbo has come in now for the third time this race. So he'll be out of tires. And I dare say, I hate to count them out, but I dare say the podium streak is going to be over after this one. Something really miraculous is going to have to happen. We'll just put it that way. The lead down to 1.3 seconds. Police keep putting in the laps.
Yeah, Poliski had to get around a lapper there in Gainey, so might give back a little time here.
Is there any worse feeling than knowing you're the dominator of a track? Your name is on the front gate. You're the perennial ass kicker here. And all of a sudden, the gap just won't stop coming down to the truck behind you.
Yeah, it's, I mean, I know John's probably watching that lap time and watching Andy get closer in his mirror. And if I know anything about John Kay, he is probably not too happy right about now.
Hello to Dirt Track Dan for hanging out with us. A hey-o to you as well. Hello to anybody that hasn't dropped a line yet. Let us know. 24 to go. We got one more race on Turn 200 with the Venom Truck Series next Tuesday night at Charlotte.
And if you think it's spread out, don't go anywhere because we're about to have an all-time classic battle here at the front of the field. Oh, maybe, as long as Poliski doesn't get taken out by drivers coming through.
Oof. That is Carver.
Well, that was Jordan Journeau in front of Carver on even fresher tires.
He has much fresher tires.
But
He's
multiple laps
in the
down.
24s.
So Carver now gets through on Poliski. So Poliski lost a bit of time to John there.
And Carver will try to be a little bit more gentle with his teammate John Kay, as Hayden Palumbo on the freshest tires on the track is going to fly by both of them here, or should. But Carver is trying to unlap himself the hard way and not have to worry about the lucky dog if we do get that ill-timed late race caution.
Boy, this really seems to have thrown off the rhythm of Poliski in the 32. 2 or 3 laps in a row, slower lap times than John here, but should be getting back to it now. Looks like that lap, or that gap, I should say, is coming down as John Kay is now dealing with the traffic.
Yeah, Poliski 3/10 up on Kay last time by, so that gap is right back to a second, but with a truck between him, and not just a truck, but a teammate of John Kay's that can wingman for him a little bit. These trucks have seemed to be a little aero-sensitive tonight, and certainly I would imagine the Nissan of Wichita Falls 32 is not loving the lack of air on the nose right now. Maybe laying back just a bit to try and cool this right front tire off. Zach Lockett slow on the bottom of the track coming back to pit road.
And Carver is now caught right up to the bumper of Kay. What will Carver do?
Poliski started to turn it up again. Gap is inside of a second.
Carver wants to get through on the bottom. Kay lets him by. But Poliski is going to be well within a second now. Well, a little bit of a slip up there. Looked like Poliski got into the wall on the backstretch.
A little yawn in the chat. Tuned in just at the right time here with 15 to go. Andy Poliski started 18th in this race, worked his way all the way to the lead before green flag pit stops. John Kay able to undercut him by 1 lap and combo that into a 5.5 second lead. But again, Poliski has steadily chipped away at it, and now it's inside of a second with 13 laps to go. Caution free up to this point, but will it stay that way? These drivers have got to be exhausted after 137 completed laps and no respite whatsoever.
None whatsoever, and still some passing going on around the racetrack as Rainey and Rutherford just got through on Austin Holyfield. Altering strategies at play here with this group. Josh Freed and Paul
Carver.
Ellison side by side here as well.
Freed is on a good run right now. They've again got Jordan Journeau on much fresher tires, closing up quickly. And that will put a hold on the plains for Freed for now, as Palumbo is going to come by as well. Oh, Ellison did not get a great exit, though. Ellison now in the middle of 3 wide as Palumbo is underneath on the freshest tires on the track. Ellison and Freed still side by side for position.
Oh, Freed into the wall, coming into 1.
Inside of 10
Man, look
to
at
go.
this battle.
As these two are working each other over.
Andy Poliski, gap is about 0.6 of a second.
John Kay's got side-by-side traffic in front of him, and not only that, it's teammates that are disrupting the air. Carver through on Zittel. So Zittel back to 9th with Kay right behind him. And Poliski again trying to close in with 7.5 laps to go. If Andy is saving anything, now might be the time. John Kay, only 1 win on the season. It came in the season opener. Andy Poliski winless up to this point this season with only 1 podium finish. These are 2 drivers hungry for a win. No doubt they've been the class of the field tonight. Who has got what it takes with 6 to go?
Poliski visually still getting closer to Kay here. And Kay's got quite a bit of traffic out front.
Kay will have to deal with Kyle Zittel here unless Zittel takes himself out of the equation. Carver is going the right direction. The 53 is not. And neither is Steve Roman, a teammate of Andy Poliski's. Four laps to go, and Poliski continues to inch his way closer. Two truck lengths.
Poliski is sending it into these corners.
Oh, he slid the nose, though. We'll lose a little bit of ground. He's pushing hard. Kay underneath of his teammate, Zittel, will try and get down in line quickly, and Poliski down onto the apron through 1 and 2, and he loses a bunch of time. That may be all she wrote. We'll see if he's saving anything. Gap is now back to half a second. 2 to go. With a truck to pass as well, Poliski trying to hook the exit there, and he may have just lost a life in these tires. John Kay just wants to see the white flag to make it official. Kay across the line, 1 to go. This is it. Poliski up to the top looking for anything, but John Kay is pulled away. It'll be 3 in a row at the Rock. John Kay's name stays on the front entryway to Rockingham. Kay with his second win of the season. Andy Poliski, so impressive and just short. Chad Stearns to round out the podium. 1 spot ahead of Matt Schlosser. His outside hopes and snagging the championship next week stay alive. Caution free here tonight, 150 laps for the Biff. I think he'd be proud of that one.
For sure.
I think maybe these trucks are a bit too tight for his liking, if I had to guess. My man. Talked about a 3-act structure there. That was a perfectly paced plot. John Kay, we touted him as the victor of Rockingham, took the early lead, stormed away from the field. All of a sudden, Poliski from way deep in the pack takes the lead from John Kay. Once John Kay got back up front, man, he never looked back again. Piles into Paul. There's the team picture. And for John Kay, second win of the season, like we mentioned, win number 15 in the Truck Series.
And extends Christmas 1 more week for everybody.
Absolutely.
Or at least for himself.
I think the candy cane wrap stays on another week. Maybe. We'll see. Certainly got some good mojo. John Kay, 3 in a row at Rockingham as the celebration subsides. We'll get the full finishing rundown here. We'll talk to John Kay. We'll talk to Andy Poliski. We'll talk to Chad Stearns here in just a moment. As Stearns with a similarly epic run through the field to get himself onto the bottom step. Matt Schlosser also with an EOL to start the night, so he will finish in 4th. Josh Freed, good to see him back in the top 5 here this evening. Paul Ellison in 6th. Joshua Matacek in 7th, Lucas Carver in 8th. The last driver on the lead lap, Kyle Zittel and Austin Holyfield, your top 10. Garrett Rainey in 11th, Corey Rutherford in 12th. Brandon Gainey will finish in 13th, Tyler Bergert in 14th. Aiden Palumbo 2 laps down in 15th, Jordan Jorno in 16th, Andy Decano in 17th, Steve Roman in 18th, Eric Breeding 4 laps down in 19th, Gary Clark 5 laps down in 20th, and DNFs for Zach Lockett, Kate Kanan, and Cole Maxwell, the 23 drivers that took the green flag here this evening. we will move into the good old-fashioned podium interviews as we'll hot swap Chad Stearns straight into booth 200 as he takes home the P3 here this evening. Welcome back to the booth, and that was a whale of a run through the field to get yourself onto the podium here tonight.
Yeah, not too bad, I guess. I kind of wish I'd have drove a little bit harder early, but all in all, I'm happy with it.
I mean, the fall off seemed to be massive, but I mean, you and Schlosser and Poliski in particular were still able to seemingly save something there through the entirety of that first run. I mean, what was the tire life like at the end of that race? How was that truck behaving?
Well, at the end of 77 laps, my right front was, I believe, 68. Oof. So, yeah, it was the fall off was definitely there, pretty drastically. So, I was trying to go easy the whole time and be patient and not burn them up, but I also needed to make up some time, so I was kind of caught in a predicament that, you know, if I go hard, I'm going to burn them up. So, like I said, man, P3, I'm happy with it, starting in the back.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the great run. You mentioned starting in the back of the field. I mean, how tricky was it trying to work your way through some traffic here? Because although there are definitely multiple lanes to be run, it looked like, especially early on in the race, the top side really wasn't really an option if you wanted to be very quick. What was it like trying to get your nose underneath of some competitors there early on?
It's always sketchy. I mean, that's all there is to it. And you're right, the top was completely, it just wasn't a factor at all. I tried to go up there a couple times, and every single time I lost time. So I had no choice but to try to go under people. And yeah, I mean, anytime you're going through lap traffic, it's just sketchy. That's all there is to it.
You finished ahead of Matt Schlosser here tonight. You were ahead of him pretty much most of the night anyway. I'm sure you've still got an outside chance at the title next week. I mean, any different approach to Charlotte, or is it just a full send next week?
It's the same strategy that I had tonight. Like, I needed to win, and I need to win Charlotte. So a little bit disappointed I couldn't get that done tonight, but you know, next week it's the same thing. I got to win, and then whatever happens happens.
Well, we'll look forward to that next week. In the meantime, let's get some shout-outs in once again for you.
Yeah, I'd just like to give a shout-out to 939 Motorsports. You guys turn 200 for broadcasting, and the Venom Truck Series. Always appreciate it.
All righty, partner. Thanks for the time. We'll hopefully talk to you again next week.
Yep, thanks a lot.
Let's talk to another driver we did talk to at North Wilkesboro. This time he's on the podium and will come up one spot short, but not from a lack of effort. Man, Andy Poliski, your runner-up finisher here tonight, and what a race that was. Congrats on a solid P2.
Thanks, guys. Yeah, it was really hard fought. It's a tough track. Really mentally fatiguing at times, and even physically. It's got a repave, but it's still old Richmond, or not Richmond, the Rockingham.
I mean, yeah, it's you know, it looks nicer. There's a couple less buildings, but man, it still drives just as brutally. I mean, a tale of two halves of the race is 18th to 1st before the first green flag pit stop. I mean, that is an impressive of a drive as we maybe have ever seen, especially here.
Yeah, thank you. I didn't plan on it that way. I wrecked in qualifying. Something that I was always doing, and it just didn't stick that time. So, but it really forced me to save my tires and drive the racetrack. And it really helped me manage the race, coming through everybody. So, I think if I started up front, I would have burned my stuff up sooner and gone backwards.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on the great race here. I mean, you can see yourself closing in on John there in the last 20 laps or so. There's a little bit of lap traffic that kind of comes into play there at one point. It just seemed like things were almost working against you there at the very end.
Yeah, unfortunately it did. dirty air really, especially on old tires, really affected it. It was really, really bad coming off a two, and I may have had a run there, but when that lap car got down in front of me, it just washed the front end out. Um, so I lost everything there, but it's really, really hard to try to run somebody down because, like I said, this is more like a driver's track to me. You have to hit your marks, you have to drive the racetrack, and when you see that rabbit in front of you and you're catching him, you just want to overdrive just a little more and a little more. And it just, when you heat these tires up on this track, it just does not like it, and it does not want to come back.
I mean, really awesome stuff here tonight. I know you wanted that one better, but man, that was an awesome drive up through the field and a great battle for the win there as well. So good to get to talk to you once again on the podium for the second time this season. Let's get some shout outs in for you.
Shout out to my sponsor, Nissan Wichita Falls. Great place to buy a car, great place to work. My wife and daughter, they support me week in and week out on this thing. So Abby's going to be really excited that I got a second place again. So she'll be happy about that. Coming through the field, I mean, these are the best guys to run against week in and week out. It was so much fun racing up through the field with everybody. A lot of respect, but a lot of great racing all the way through. And then you guys in the booth, you guys are awesome to watch back after the race all the time. Great insights to everything. Great broadcast week in and week out. I mean, you guys really do an awesome job. Great job running with John. Like I said, I wanted to get side by side with him. I think we were going to have a hell of a finish if we could have. A lot of door banging and bumper banging if we did, but unfortunately, wasn't meant to be. But good points day, good second place finish. So great run, and looking forward to finishing off the season really strong.
Absolutely. Let's get you that one better next week in Charlotte, and we'll hopefully be talking to you once again next week.
Yes, sir. Hopefully so.
All righty, start the clock. You know why. It's time to talk to John Kay, race winner for the second time this season, and it remains the man to beat at Rockingham. How about it?
Just another day at the office, I guess, except if there was a fire in the office and everybody lost their shit and decided to try and put it out with, I don't know, espresso cups or some shit.
How are the shoulders? That's my first question, because 150 laps caution free here has got to suck.
Not bad, actually.
Oh,
shoulders and arms are good. Freaking feet are killing me, but that's about it.
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the new repave here. It still kind of feels the same, but I only did some short runs with the new truck package as well. I mean, how different of an experience was this here tonight? Because I mean, it looks the same as the last couple of seasons with you dominating the race, but I mean, how different was it?
Honestly, it kind of drove the same. Like I really couldn't. Maybe it's just because I'm dumb, but I really couldn't tell too much of a difference. Maybe there was a little more grip, but I mean, you were still slipping and sliding around. It was burning the right front up. At the bottom was definitely the place to be. That's really the big thing that stuck out to me is the middle and top, especially in 3 and 4, weren't as good. So kind of had to figure it out as we went. Didn't run more than like 20 laps in practice on a run. So going from that to 150 straight laps was kind of crazy, but yeah, same old Rockingham, kind of, sort of, with some slight tweaks. But other than that, it was pretty much the same thing.
It had to be quite the shock because, nothing against Andy. Of course, he's a series champion with the Venom trucks. But, I mean, you two started in different hemispheres of the field. Had to be quite the shock to see him appear on the relative and then never go away.
Well, the boys were talking about it, and, I knew he was coming through the field. Andy's really good at Rockingham. He must have... I was shocked he qualified as bad as he did, honestly. I figured he'd qualify 3rd or 4th or 5th or something up there, even put it on pole. So I was more shocked to see that before the race. I knew he'd be there eventually. Andy's really dang good, and he had something figured out really well. He had, obviously, that first stint ran me down like I was tied to a stump, and blew by me. Like I couldn't do anything. I tried to hold him off for a couple laps, and I kept missing the bottom, and I was like, he'll get by me. It's fine. We'll just keep on tootling around. You know, the extra point for the stage would have been nice, but kind of changed some things. Still ran hard in that second stint, but I figured some stuff out, was a little nicer to the tires, and gained me a whole whopping 11% of tire savage at the end. I'm not going to tell you the numbers because they're still bad, but you know, anytime you can improve by 11% on saving your tires, that's pretty good to me.
It's an 11% mail-in rebate, Mr. Matt Williamson. What you got for the race winner?
Yeah, congrats on the good run. I have to harken back to a message that was sent to me earlier today that John K's season was supposedly over after 4 rounds of the season, and I think that's a load of baloney. You get a win here, the penultimate race of the season. You still have an opportunity to win the championship. And do I need to remind you that you have been in worse positions and still come out on top? I would not be counting yourself out. How are you feeling going into the last race of the season after a win?
I still need an act of God. Pat Schlosser's so good. I don't know how the points are going to shake out. Probably, I don't even know what I was back going into that race, but it was not looking pretty. But you know, Matt drove a really, really good race too. Even with the EOL, he still went up to 4th. I'm assuming he got like 5th or 6th for stage points. So you know, it's what does it say? I'm 57 points back. Apparently,
that's not the number that I see. I see 38. I think you looked one down. That's still quite a gap.
Yeah, 38 points back. But Matt's been crazy consistent. I mean, we've seen it. Like things happen. It's the endurance race. Crazy stuff always happens during the endurance race. And there's 2 stages. So, you know, if we get a stroke of luck and somehow he ends up freaking missing out on stage points and we win both stage by the grace of God, that's, you know, 20 points, then it's 18. It's a little more doable, but yeah, pretty much need an act of God. So we'll see what happens, but nah, got a flair for the dramatic, I guess. So, you know,
well, 2 drivers that are going for a Hail Mary next week between you and Chad Stearns. It'll be an awful lot of fun to watch at Charlotte. But let's get some shout-outs in. Second win of the season, 15th with the Venom Truck Series. Good stuff here tonight, as always. What you got?
I got to shout out my fiance. She's fantastic. I don't know what she's doing right now. She's off doing something, but she was pretty pumped up when she came out of the bedroom, so she must have been in there watching. Shout out my mom and dad if they're watching. Shout out Garrett, Paul, Kyle, Luke. They did a really good job of I mean, they do a good job of keeping my head on straight. And me and Luke, the first lap, I mean, you'd think we've done it 1,000 times, where he was gracious enough to let me by and let me lead some laps, and that ended up really being beneficial. Clean air was really, really nice. And then Kyle, he was saving fuel trying to make it to the end, but I told him, I was like, dude, I gotta go. Like, just a 1 truck of difference of dirty air made a huge difference, which was crazy to me. But got by Kyle and managed to kind of keep a little bit of a gap on him. So it helped me out, kind of calmed me down a little bit. You'd think I'd never led a race up until this point with how freaking high my heart rate was. Thought I was about to have a heart attack and die. Shout out my boss, Sean, for the desk. Couldn't win races without it. He gets all pumped up when I talk about it. He tells everybody at the track that I race, which makes me feel like a nerd. And then he tells everybody I talk about him in my interview in the desk. I feel like a car owner. So shout out to him. Shout out my buddy Couch. I don't know if Couch was watching tonight. I didn't send him the link, but I wasn't expecting much. So, I mean, yeah, it is what it is. Shout out to you guys. only one more race. Kind of bittersweet. Well, bittersweet that we're not gonna hear Tom anymore. And Matt's whatever. But you know, I'm just kidding. I'm
This
just kidding.
guy,
You
I
guys are
swear.
Yeah, you guys are fantastic, and can't wait to. I know I say it all the time, but I can't wait to share the track with you guys and wreck the hell out of Matt because I own one. So, yeah,
you take Matt out, and then I take you out because I owe you one as well. So and then we can race the rest of the season.
Yeah, that is true. You do owe me one. I think you took me out at Charlotte in a recruitment race. I think
in a recruitment race.
I took you out in a fun race. What's the difference?
What the hell?
What the heck is
going
going
Wrap
on?
it up.
Sweet
Hurry
Jesus.
up.
We've already
God.
reviewed the race.
Play them off.
Let's go.
Hi, everybody.
8.5
These are all my
minutes.
friends.
What's the timer to by now?
8.5 minutes.
Timer? Are you kidding? They have a sand dial to keep track of this.
Like
Grains
the
of sand
sand
we had.
to the hourglass. John Kane wins a race.
Hey
All
man,
right.
I haven't got to talk in a while. Shut the hell up, Kyle.
All right, everybody, get your shout outs in 3, 2, 1.
Suck
Shout
it,
out
John
Turn
K.
200
As always, I'd like to
man.
shout out my beautiful wife,
Thank
mom,
you,
and
Adam.
dad. I didn't run real good, but shout out John K,
Da,
Alabama.
da, 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 da,
Oh,
da,
shout
da.
out EB. I love that guy.
Oh,
Yeah,
everybody
shout
shut
out
up. Everybody shut up for a
KC
second.
Taco
Everybody shut up for a
Bell,
second. Shut
There you
up
go.
for a second. R.I.P. to Greg Biffle. Almost
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
the most important
dude.
thing. R.I.P. to the Biff. He was
Amen, brother.
he was the man. Really good humanitarian. Everybody should strive to live that way. So
Amen.
Well, yeah,
We lost control of this
There's-
one.
there's 15 people in here, so I'm not really sure how to move forward here. John
Love
K,
you guys.
thanks
Y'all
for the
have a
time. What is the time, by the way?
9 minutes and 39
Oh.
seconds currently.
That's
that's not that bad.
It's not even in the
That's not
top
that
10.
No.
Not that bad.
We reviewed
You know
the
what?
entire race before you were done talking, John.
There was no cautions. Everybody make sure to like and subscribe to Turn 200. They're fantastic.
As we're closing shop.
Oh dear.
Oh.
Well, all right. Thanks everybody. Thank you, John K.
Yep.
We'll
Appreciate
hopefully
you.
talk to any of you next week.
Hopefully.
Love you.
Love you. Bye.
All right. I'm
Good night,
just gonna
everybody.
start- Oh, okay.
Oh, wow.
Well,
That is
was
the first
certainly
time that's
something.
ever happened, I think, and well, that's fitting, I guess, because we only got one more broadcast to go here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what to make of that, but that certainly happened. And yeah, any thoughts on tonight? Man, what a hell of a race. I mean, we had some cautions a couple weeks ago at North Wilkesboro, but caution free tonight, and
Yeah.
these drivers just didn't let up.
Yep, for sure. I mean, that's the good stuff from the drivers here tonight. This was I mean, it's a tough task. Anytime we come to Rockingham, I think especially tonight, there was a little bit of uncertainty with the track and the truck. You know, not quite sure how it's going to play out, especially on that long run, but everybody made it work. Everybody made it stick for the most part and got through it caution-free. That's pretty darn good stuff there from everybody. So shout out to the drivers. Shout out to everybody that was in the chat as well. Shout out to Jan Van Leer, Dirt Track, and Dan. Ross Racing, Nathan Carroll, Jeremy McKinnon, Bailey Matichek, and Robin Matichek for being here tonight in the chat. And anybody else that was watching, always appreciate it. Boy, only one more Tuesday night broadcast left for the Venom Truck Series on Turn 200. We said it was bittersweet earlier, but by God, we got a championship to give out at the end of it. So everybody needs to be here. Tell all your friends. We are having one heck of a send-off with the endurance race at Charlotte. You do not want to miss it. Tommy Cook, anything else here for us before we let everybody get on to their evening?
I mean, yeah, we've only got 2 races left of the full-time run of Turn 200. Friday night this week is the Dirt 200 special from Eldora. Catch that at 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern Time. And then, yeah, it's the Venom Truck Series Season 10 finale next week at Charlotte Motor Speedway to wrap up the full-time run with the VTS on Turn 200. So if you want to see us again, Friday or Tuesday And otherwise, we'll see you when we see you. That's all we got for you here tonight. Thanks to everybody that was hanging out with us. And thank you to everybody, the admin team of the Venom Truck Series. Thank you to Mr. Matt Williamson. That's all we got for you here tonight. So we meet again from Rockingham. I'm Tommy Cook saying so long. And congratulations to John K. serving the memory of the Biff with another dominating run at the Rock. Have a good night, everybody. This has been a live broadcast on Turn 200. Be sure to hit subscribe and hit the bell to get notified of when we go live next. Thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you again soon.